Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have some Scum on Rebel Scum action with myself versus Wes. But joining me for this we have the ultimate Rebel Scum.
That's a bit rude, but it's James, I'm here.
Well, you are our Rebel aficionado, the one that I always come to and ask for advice on Rebels. And obviously Resistance, to be honest, and then I never do them justice anyway. So, yeah. But we have, like I said, two fun-looking lists on the board with some big ships which we don't see all the time. So let's quickly run through those lists. On my side, I have Han Solo in the Scum Falcon with Trickshot, Cluster Missiles, L337, Greedo, Contraband Cybernetics, Engine Upgrade, and the Lando's Millennium Falcon. In the other Falcon, we have Lando, who is salty that his title has been taken, but he's got Trickshot, Contraband Cybernetics, and Engine Upgrade. In the Fire Spray, we have Emon Azzameen with Fearless, Jamming Beam, Cad Bane, Proton Bombs, Contraband Cybernetics, Scrambler, and the Slave 1 title. It's not the Separatist one, I don't know why it says that, it is the Scum one. And then rounding off the list is Bossk in the Z95 with Marksmanship and Deadman Switch because he's cheap as chips and Deadman Switch is funny. And what have we got with Wes?
With Wes, we have Agent Kallus in the Ghost with Trickshot, 5 Control System, Dorsal Turret, Magva Yarro, and a Veteran Turret Gunner. Oh, it's already fallen off. That's typical of a Ghost.
Yeah.
We got Janors in the Hawk with Elusive, Lando Crew, Bomblet Generator, Delayed Fuses, and the Moldy Crow title. Garvin in the Arc with a Suppressive Gunner, and Ivan Verlaine, I'm going to have a guess at that name, with a Dorsal Turret, Alpha Astromech, and Concussion Bombs in the Y-Wing.
An interesting list with lots of upgrades and not very many upgrades on those.
There's some cool synergy in Wes's list. I like my first thought is I really like Lando on the Moldy Crow.
It's really good, actually. It's almost like an easy, quick way to build up those focus tokens that isn't expensive by having Perceptive Copilot.
Yes. Which lets you take other stuff, like a bomblet generator. I forgot the Hawk could even take bombs. I see that so little.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the Hawk as much as I would like since Kanan got hit in the Scum faction. But yeah, bomblet generator on there is a really cool one. And
I also don't see the Ghost a lot.
No, it's a big investment a lot of the time with the Ghost, and Zero Evades is tricky, but one thing I do like about this is the trick shot combo with Janors, if pulled off, can be incredibly dangerous.
Well, yes, but Wes is not the only one with a trick shot shenanigans, because you've got the Han Solo trick shot and Lando trick shot, but it's mostly the Han Solo trick shot that you want.
Yeah, the original asteroid hopper with Han Solo getting an extra dice in attack and defense if it is obstructed by an obstacle with trick shot, all of the tricks and all of the tools. And because I had a couple of points, I had to put Greedo in there because
I mean we've seen Greedo do well on Initiative 6 ships before.
Yes, I think you have to have Greedo on an I6 or an I5, otherwise it's too risky.
Yeah.
Because you want to be using that threat where possible. So, I mean, I was quite happy writing this list, and I'm a big fan of Emon Azzameen as well in the Fire Spray. I love his ability to throw devices at speed 3 straight or hard. I just think that's
more options for bombs is always great.
And that's a great start for Janors rolling double focus with Lando.
Yeah,
Not
so the
sure
Moldy
how
Crow
it's
title
gonna
lets you hold on to 3 maximum?
2 maximum.
2
I
maximum.
believe.
Okay, so she's there.
Yeah. I'm going to double check that one. I believe it's 2 maximum.
And then the Lando crew is roll 2 defense dice as an action for each focus result, gain a focus. For each evade result, gain an evade token. If both are blank, the opposing player chooses.
Yeah.
So once you've got those 2 focuses stored for the Moldy Crow title, you're just sort of rolling for a chance at an evade, really.
Or, yeah, you're just rolling for the sheer hell of it. And, I mean, what the other thing I like about Jan Or's being here is her actual ability. So while a friendship in your firing arc performs a primary attack, if you are not stressed, you may gain 1 stress token. If you do, that ship may roll 1 additional attack die.
Now, the one thing I'm not entirely sure on with Jan here is elusive, because of her ability wanting to stress herself. Or do you reckon it's there as just a one-time use and you're probably just not going to get it back?
Yeah, I think that's more the case. I think it's more a case of what other talent are you really going to put on there. I mean, there's other talents you could put, but Wes is quite a big fan of elusive. It can be quite handy in a tough spot. So, especially when Jan has most likely got a ton of focuses stored up, it's more chance that it's going to proc, because you roll a blank, you're like, okay, I'll re-roll it with elusive, you get a focus or an evade, and essentially you've got an evade with all those focuses you got, because it's highly unlikely she's going to run through those so quickly.
Oh, she's already using her ability for Garvin. Okay.
Yep. And because it's within the firing arc, having Moldy Crow giving you the turret and the forward arc, you have a 180 arc of which its triggers in.
True. Not a bad shot.
Not bad. Hit crit with a focus there. Going into Lando, who is the blue Falcon without the escape pod on. Han is the green Falcon with the escape pod.
Now, do you spend that focus for the suppressive gunner?
That is actually the debate that is
The
currently
suppressive
going
gunner
on.
is a gunner card that I haven't used a lot, but it costs 7, so it must be worth it, right?
It can be pretty good. So with suppressive gunner, you can spend one of your focuses to force your opponent to either take a damage or a deplete token. So it's one of those ones like, what would you prefer? And I'm not gonna lie, I'd have just been like, well, I'll take a damage anyway. So he's gonna get 3 damage because I don't want a deplete token, because the Scum Falcon only has 2 dice. As
Looks like Wes opted for spending the focus, passing the token with Garvin's ability to Kallus. Although I don't think that's really going to matter at the moment. But
No,
good to get into a habit of using those abilities.
Yeah, and unfortunately I rolled blank, so that was 3 shields down on Lando to start with. Good start. But attacks on turn 1, you don't.
Yeah, it's unusual, and with the fire spray and both Falcons down that side of the board, Garvin is, yeah, he's done alright this round, but he's got a problem coming his way very fast.
I mean, the obstacles are quite interestingly placed there.
Yeah, the ones near the middle, like the ghost is going towards that objective, but I don't think they're going to risk going between the rocks.
It's a very tight obstacle there, but we've got Bossk nicely hidden up the top there.
I do like the Bossk. Just, yeah, we'll throw him in Marksmanship for his ability, and then Deadman switch.
Everyone loves Deadman switch. And also, I paid attention to one of the previous games that we actually commentated where an objective may have just been ignored in the top corner, and as soon as I saw it was there, I was like, well, he's a cheap ship. If he can get it for a couple of turns, he's made his points.
Yeah, that's always the good thing with the 2-point pilots. Just, you know, if they can get 2 objective points, their net profit from that point on.
Oh, I'm not sure. Nope, the ghost is too big to fit there. a bump already, and it's not even onto a rock.
It's a large model, and it's on a large base.
Now, one thing I do want to quickly point out as well, some of you Eagle Eye viewers may notice that Han doesn't seem to be getting a dial placed down. Now, when I rocked up play, I looked at the top of my dials and they both said Falcons, and I was like, great. When
So
I turned
you
over
got
and
a
looked
dial
at-
for a different kind of Falcon.
No.
Oh?
I purchased this Falcon with a couple other ships second hand off of a friend.
Oh, the dial was put together, right?
When they put the dial together, for some reason it had the squid dial underneath.
The
Yeah.
big epic ship thing.
Yeah, so it said Falcon on the top, but then had like a
What
two
was mixed
reverse.
up? I don't think I would ever have guessed that one.
Yeah, so I had an agreement with Wes that what I would do is I'd write on my phone on a note what move I was going to do. So you may see me occasionally holding a phone out to him and going, "I'm doing this move."
The honourable thing to do would be to fly one of the Falcons off the board, and then you got the right number of dials.
I mean, there is that, but I didn't want to give up too many points too quickly.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So, I mean, a good tip for you guys if you are getting your stuff sorted, make sure you got the right dials with you.
Also, if you're buying something second hand, check it.
I mean, this was the first time I'd flown both the Falcons, and I just made the assumption, and well, we know what happened there. I'm writing my moves down on a note.
Yes.
So, but Lando getting up there doing a rotate to catch Garvin.
Yeah, is that going to be a trick shot through the debris or not?
No, it looks like closest to closest will not be through the debris,
Okay.
unfortunately. Which is a bit of a shame.
Emon going up and capturing that objective. Nice.
Something I've been paying attention to when looking back at my games is I'm not particularly good on objective play, so I'm trying
Well,
to...
I was thinking, like, he's sending all 3 ships down towards that one satellite at the bottom. I did forget about Bossk at the top. He's grabbed one. You're doing better than usual on objectives.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Bossk is there, to grab that one at the top.
Focus from
Cool.
Lando.
Yeah, cause a bit of nuisance. And I'm looking, ideally, to get some focus fire with these other 3 big hitters. Because if I can get some good trick shots off with those Falcons, that's going to be dangerous. And a fire spray is always dangerous if it gets in the right position. Not sure if I get trick shot there with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's tricky to tell. I can't quite see the top corner of Han.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. I just want to quickly have a look back over at Wes's list. We said about synergy earlier with like Jan with her abilities to bump up other ships. Ivan as well is actually an interesting one to look at. So
Can't remember what he does, to be honest. So look.
So-
Ivan. Hang on. Lost him. There he is. Right. At the start of the engagement phase, you can spend 1 focus and choose a friendly ship range 0 to 1. If you do, that ship rolls 1 additional defense die. Oh, okay. I see why that's flying next to Kallus now.
yeah.
Because Kallus gets to roll 1 additional defense die anyway?
When your opponent modifies an attack, yes.
So potentially it goes with 2 agility.
Yeah. Which is actually pretty impressive.
Okay, I like that. That's cool.
And considering Kallus is aiming to get those trick shots off as well, there's potentially a 3 dice evade on Kallus if it's done right.
Yeah.
Which is
And you've still got the Magva Yarro fire control system combo on there as well.
yeah, it's a really nice build on
Yeah,
Kallus, to be
like
honest.
that.
And I actually think Kallus is probably my favourite Ghost pilot.
He's also the newest.
Yeah.
And I know we've already had like the version 2 like reprint of the Ghost, but I feel like the old pilots need a redo.
Especially Hera, considering she's...
Yeah, I want to use Hera in the Ghost.
Well, we know that AMG are not adverse to re-looking at pilots. We've had updates of Dash and Lebo in the YT2400 box.
Yes, I'm just waiting for that re-release of Hera. Maybe two versions of her, given that recent shows have the Ghost.
Rebels Hera and post Jedi Hera would be quite big as well. So
like Rebel Hera General Syndulla sort of thing.
Oh, that would be quite cool. I like the idea of that.
But then you could do it similar to how they've done Poe, in that one is like
trigger happy flyboy.
Yeah, aggressive. Then the other one's more of a support ship kind of role.
Oh, that's an unfortunate nothing. Still getting a damage through onto Lando though.
Oh, poor Lando. You would have thought he was a ghost.
Yeah.
More agility, but no.
I mean, that's 3 evade dice rolled and no evade so far, and
no shot
is just out. Unfortunate, but closest to closest is not obstructed, but it is range 1 there into Garvin, so maybe get some damage into that arc. That's not bad. Do I stress to re-roll? Yep, Lando's ability to re-roll blanks by taking a stress.
I mean, spend it and pass it on, I guess.
It's all shields down on Garvin now, so that's not exactly a terrible result there, if I do say so.
The only thing is, he's passing over these tokens, and it's not really helping.
Yeah, there's a
lot of synergy in Wes's ships, but they all want to be together, and they're not quite there. Like, the Ghost is not in the fight, and we're at the start of turn 3, and there's already been a lot of shooting, and the Ghost hasn't done any of it.
You almost want the Ghost, if it's going to be at this point, and the Ghost hasn't shot, you want it to be at a position where it's going to come in for that big shot next turn.
Yeah, because at the moment it's either going to go straight forward and probably blow up Bossk, which is 2 points.
Yeah.
Or it's going to do a sharp turn, try and go between the rocks and take some bigger hits at Han.
It either way, that's where you'd probably be looking at, and that hard
style. Yeah, it's got a sharp 1, which is red. It could do that.
It should.
A sharp 2 might be okay. Either way, if Wes wants to go through those rocks, I reckon it's a hard turn. Ooh, we got a bomblet going off.
Cheeky bomblet being dropped already.
I reckon, given the distance, he's going to throw one of those delayed fuses on that.
I wouldn't. No,
he hasn't. Okay. Just keeping you at bay, I guess. You do have the engine upgrade on both the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of move, the ideal would be to score damage, but at the same time, if it slows me down, then that's also a good option for Wes.
Yeah, you're going to have to do the Kessel run in 14 parsecs instead.
Be unfortunate. You know, when I first watched that movie when I was really young, I thought that they said it made the kettle run in 12 parsecs. And I had no
the
idea.
Kettle, it's boiling, get it quick.
And I obviously, I think I must have...
It's so far away, it's so many light years away.
I mean, obviously, I was 5 and I had no idea what a parsec was. I thought it was, as I think some people used to think, a unit of time, not a unit of distance.
I mean, that's definitely what George thought when he wrote it, isn't it? But
and it just happened to figure itself out.
Yeah, they found a way around it.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever do the Kessel Run as a scenario. Because obviously they had it in the Han Solo movie.
I don't know, because it's kind of like one ship against several.
Yeah.
And the other scenarios they've put out so far have been at least like teams of ships.
Battles. Yeah. Maybe if they do like a multi-scenario pack with just like little fun scenarios like the Kessel Run.
Yeah, like the old version 1 missions sort of thing.
So I'm thinking other ones you could do. You've got the Kessel Run. You've got Obi-Wan evading Boba from Attack of the Clones. Would be quite an interesting one to have in there. You could also have the Falcon in Empire Strikes Back evading the bombers.
There's a few of those you could do with just the Falcon versus stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, not going between the rocks. Definitely going for Bossk.
Yeah. I wanted to take Bossk out. Maybe hoping to trigger Deadman switch away from his ship so that he doesn't suffer that.
I mean, I guess so. But
I would have wanted
I'm not sure on this approach from Wes. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah, I feel like he wants to be going up against the bigger ships, really. Now, is he going to capture that central point for some objectives, or is he going to focus for his ability and defense?
Depends on where Jan's going. If Jan can get there, then wait for her to get it. But if she can't, then definitely grab it with Garvin, because you need, at this point, 3 turns in and you haven't taken an objective, you need to get one soon.
I mean, I feel like Jan's probably just done like a 1 bank, to be honest.
Maybe a little bit faster.
She doesn't have a lot of blues to clear that stress. It would keep her close enough to the ghost. And she still has that turret pointing to the side.
There we go. There's the capture from Garvin. So I agree with that. Although it'd be nice to have that focus to be able to pass it on, at the same time, capturing that objective and starting to score points now. Because Han's not going to want to jump in there and take that objective back. Han's going to want to do something to be aggressive. And
he's got the Y-Wing in a decent position to go recapture the one that Bossk has. That is not a good roll on the defense. What's that, Han shooting into Garvin?
No, that's Lando Calrissian. That's double roll on Lando.
Oh, right. Han's gun is front back.
Well, Han hasn't actually moved. That was Janor's doing Lando.
Yeah, you said Lando, and I thought it was your Lando shooting, but no, it's the Lando crew on. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I just said have a focus. I mean, it's not gonna help.
Have another one on me.
And does and fit?
I don't know. Did he fit? Looks like he did.
Oh, it looks like he fit.
Not good news for Garvin.
No, not good news for Garvin. Now the question, focus or target lock? Go with the target lock.
I feel like this would be an opportunity to fire the cluster missiles at the Ghost and then take a shot at Garvin. Although I guess you've got Garvin at range 1, haven't you?
Or take the cluster missiles at Garvin and then trigger them into the Ghost anyway.
Yeah, but you get more dice with the main gun, don't you?
No, same 3.
Oh right, yes, it's that Falcon, isn't it? I'm so used to the Rebel and Resistance Falcon that's 3 dice. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it was the Rebel or Resistance Falcon, take a focus, or take a target lock and do a primary, but with
this one, the cluster missiles, which I think is what you're doing.
Yes, it looks like that's 3 dice. Spend the target lock. Oh, that's terrible. But and Greedo, so
yeah, I mean, the shields are down. You can get a crit through potentially, and you do. What is that going to be?
Fuel leak by the look of it, yes.
Oh, not a good one as your first crit either.
Not when you've got lots of health. And the Ghost is in range for cluster missiles, so That's terrible. Only one shield. Although, did he Ivan? Oh, he's looking at... I don't think he did. He's looking at Magva Yarro, though.
Yeah, I feel you just take the one and grab a lock, really. Especially when you haven't shot yet.
Yeah, 100%. That's the... Oh no, so he did Ivan, so he's rolling it anyway.
Okay.
Get it, which is okay. So that's another shield off Kallus. That was not a great cluster missile, to be honest.
No, that was decidedly underwhelming, but
yeah,
that happens. Generals with an obstructed shot, one of the ships on the board without trick shot, unfortunately.
Yeah. True.
As is typical.
And as well, I believe, regardless of how it's...
Oh, it might be out of range for the... No, the gun turret is a range 3 on that, isn't it? 'Cause it's the...
Yeah, it's all range 3, yeah. So it's a range 3 2-dice shot obstructed, or potentially a range 3 unobstructed shot from the front. I think I couldn't tell. We'll see how many dice he rolls. So it is the side arc. He's got plenty of focuses, so he can spend one. And there's the evades.
So it was...
A Falcon, just ridiculous.
So it's what, one evade normally?
One evade,
one for the rock.
One for range 3.
One for range 3, and then one more for obstructed because of Han's ability? Is that the fourth one?
It was the fourth one, so yeah. And it's just... Han is just such a great ship to have in and amongst the obstacles, and if you
that's
your large picture. Ooh, taking the stress to get 2. No evade, no focus on Garvin because he took the objective, so that is another damage through. Shame it's not a crit because Fuel Link would have triggered them, which would have been quite nice.
I mean, there's still damage on a decent ship.
I think this is where the Scum Falcon kind of falls down a little bit compared to the other two Falcons, is it only has that 2-dice shot normally. Admittedly, they are so much cheaper than other
these guys.
Let me just quickly bring the list up. I think Han is 6.
Yeah, Han 6, Lando 5.
Yeah, so you can fit
5
3 of these.
For a Falcon with a 2-die gun. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
That is
the big gun on the go, powered up by Jan. Unfortunately, not great on the rerolls.
No. Hit crit.
What is the crit?
Please,
is it a direct hit?
Direct. It is.
Doesn't look like it is. What is it? Fuel Link, that doesn't matter at this point.
Indifference.
What have we got now? Oh, yeah. Garvin might be able to finish the job.
Is Garvin going to go for it? Is he going to try and go for...
I think you do. Because, as you said earlier, like it clears up the Deadman switch. It gives the Ghost room to maneuver in that part of the field.
Oh, he's going hard with the range 1.
Okay, I guess leaving it up to his Y-Wing to maybe finish Bossk.
Oh, I'll take that.
That's disappointing. I guess he could have spent one of those for Suppressive Gunner, though.
Yeah. But Ivan is actually not in arc of Bossk.
Oh.
Bossk lives and scores more points for me.
Well, you know what you got to do now with Bossk, right?
Turn him in and blow him up.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could manage to sneakily land him on a rock to auto blow him up, that would be great. But it's actually, if I can get him there and make
that's true.
waste a shot,
that rock.
Yeah, but if I can make Wes waste a shot having to take him out, that's something he's not shooting at someone else.
Yes.
That is the ideal. But while we're waiting to see where we go in turn 4, just want to remind you guys, if you do enjoy what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, you can support us on Patreon. The link is in the description below. It gives you access to our Discord where you can have a chat with us about what lists we're looking to fly. We can help you with any lists that you're looking to fly, and just have a good conversation in there about X-Wing, Legion, and all things Star Wars. So Patreon link is in the description below.
Didn't quite make it to the rock.
No, but
The next turn he's lined up to at the very least go over it. Yeah. So
I mean, I like his position anyway, because again, as he said, hilarious as though it would be to fly him over a rock and auto detonate him. This way, Wes now actually has to send shots my way.
well, and you've blocked that path between the rocks in front of the ghost, which is good. Also, a very good turn there from Emon, not hitting that debris.
And getting
I think maybe closer than you thought it was going to be.
a little bit. I mean, I'm trying to, at the moment, when I'm doing the hard turns like that, I'm trying to visualize it with the corners of the base.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
And I'm almost there.
Ooh.
I am almost there with doing it. Banks is still a lot harder, but
That's true. Jan didn't drop a bomb this time.
no,
So you're taking full advantage of that and swept in. Although your gun is sideways.
side, yeah, so might not be that great.
I feel like maybe it's just straight boost would have been better to keep the angle of the gun.
Yeah, maybe I forgot. Who knows? Maybe I was anticipating ships turning in a bit.
I mean, yeah, they still haven't moved. You might catch them.
Ghost coming in behind Bossk.
One of the biggest ships being next to one of the smallest.
Do love the Ghost.
I like the
kinda
Ghost,
wish-
I don't like the stand for it.
The new stand is nice.
I don't
the
have
new stand
it.
is alright. Yeah, I have two with the old stand. The new stand was actually redesigned and they did a really good job with that. It's a lot sturdier. It almost actually cups the ship more rather than rests on it.
Oh no, the part that connected to the ship was fine. It was always, for me, the part that connected to the base. I actually ended up super gluing some Lego to a base and the peg just to get a sturdier connection.
Actually a bit of an idea. I mean,
Yeah, it turns out the round 2x2 pieces of Lego are a perfect fit for a large base. Like the circle in the middle, you can still fit a cardboard over it.
I feel that is going to actually have to be some form of YouTube short now, so thank you. I'm going to go raid the kids' Lego. Because that's actually genius. Because I was just thinking, large base ships, their pegs on them are the worst. They're the ones that
I'm pretty
always
sure it
fall
could
off.
fit the cardboard over it. That was in version 1, but I can't imagine it's changed that much.
The base size didn't actually change. The only thing they did had the medium, so I'm going to double check that myself because I'm curious now.
Either way, if your ghost peg is falling over, try some Lego.
Yeah, I like it.
Ooh, that is that on that other rock? No, it's not on the other rock.
I'm doing all right here. I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm hoping that Boss doesn't go down right now because Han would take that hit.
Yeah, he would, but Han is that full health or is he taking 1 damage?
He's at full health, so it's 8 and
that's
3.
all right.
Yeah. And also,
By the way, you'd be getting damage all over the place.
he has just lined up a range 1 shot. I think that's a range 1 trick shot.
Oh, that is, isn't it? Onto the ghost.
Alice, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, would you consider capturing the objective? But yeah, if you got that lined up.
Range 1.
And
I mean, so that should be 5 guys.
For this, you target lock?
I had to rotate my arc to do it. Actually, I didn't have to rotate my arc to do it. I rotated just in case it was close enough to be ooh. But a target lock would have been nice.
And potentially this is a turn to trigger your L3 crew. to re-roll everything.
It makes your opponent reroll.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's the other way around. Sorry, I haven't used L3 a whole lot. I haven't really seen it.
I've missed a dice there.
Oh.
It should be 2 for normal, range 1, trick shot, and hard. So it should be 5 dice. And in the end, I've only got 1 crit, and because I've re-rolled, I've modified it. That's 2 dice for Kallus, but he whiffs, so 1 damage.
It's always disappointing when you have those defensive mods, especially tricky ones to pull off, like Ivan's ability, and then it just rolls a blank anyway.
Yeah, it is a bit disappointing. I mean, anytime you get to roll an evade dice for a ghost or even a decimator, it feels kind of fun anyway, because you're there like, oh, I get to take part in this shot and not just remove shield.
I didn't even get those out of the bag. Hang on.
Yeah. I'm running a triple ghost list with no green dice.
Don't tempt me. Or if anyone wants to subscribe to the Patreon and suggest it to make Phil fly it, please go ahead.
I would have to borrow a ghost, but I'm willing to fly 3 of them for a laugh. And that is, I believe, Janor's into Han.
I think that's got to be the shot you take, right?
Immediately spending a focus. Yeah, there we go. So that's shields down on Han. And yeah, that could have been a nice point to go L337, or in the return shot from Kallus could be a nice point to L33, but we will see.
Did you forget about her?
Well, not even. Also looking, Contraband Cybernetics is still available for all 3 of my bigger ships as well, so still able to do some shenanigans. Finally getting Emon into the fight.
Yay. I was just starting to look at what he's actually got going on with him. So you got Cad Bane crew, which drop or launch a device, you can do a red boost. Okay, that's nice with him and his bombs ability. Yeah, he's mostly there as a bomber, isn't he? Really, looking at the upgrade you got on him at least.
He's mostly there as a bomber with a nice sort of like, I mean, medium-based ships are good fun, and he's got good potential damage output.
The tactical scrambler, does that also trigger Han's like obstructive ability?
Oh, that's actually a really good
Or
point.
is that specific wording for obstacles?
Oh, obstructed by an obstacle.
Okay. Because otherwise that would be really cool synergy.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking, it's like tactical scrambler is an upgrade I never see. But I guess do you still get trick shot off of it? Where's trick shot?
No, again, obstructed by an obstacle, so it does clearly state that.
So a tactical scrambler. Yeah, you don't count as. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you don't put tactical scrambler on a large base ship and fly a medium base ship behind it to trigger it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good roll there from Kallus, who's taken out Bossk. Interesting to go. Was that Kallus or was that actually Garvin? I didn't see who was shooting what. Garvin's only got 1 left, by the way.
I don't think I would shoot Bossk with only 1 left. Or is the damage already being dealt out from
the damage has already been dealt out.
Okay, that's alright then.
But that call.
Yeah, I still think I would have just left Bossk alone and just taken the range 1 into Han, really.
I mean, it was going to be unlikely that Bossk would be able to get past that obstacle.
Plus, Han's in the middle there with no tokens. Okay, there's L3 you can trigger, but other than that, it's one of your best times to shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a really nice kill box there.
I mean, Bossk is annoying, but you were going to have to blow him up yourself and maybe hurt yourself, so...
Yeah. It's a good shot.
That's a lot of dice.
Although I think maybe a slight misplay there on Wes's part, and I don't think that he could have done it quite like that. So that's a dorsal turret shot with trick shot, which is fine, and range 1, but Jan couldn't have bumped that up.
Yeah, because Jan's primary.
Yeah. So that's fine. It's
often a thing that gets overlooked of like, oh, this ability boosts an attack. It's like, no, it's primary only. Right, okay. That often gets missed. Oh. Plus, you didn't even bring a dial, so, you know.
Yes, true. I mean, what can I
it's
say?
one of those games.
Yeah, I'm nobody to judge here. Going into turn 5, the scores are now 5 apiece.
They are. Just so... Who's got what objective? Obviously, the one at the bottom is yours.
And Wes has actually captured the top and the middle objective.
I was going to say, I can't quite tell if the Y-Wing has captured the one up the top there.
He did. And that's quite a nice spot for a bomb.
That is a good spot for a bomb.
Yeah. But as well, guys, on the announcement side of things, just to let you know that, obviously, as you may be aware, Atomic Mass might have forgotten about X-Wing at their mini-stravaganza, but the community is pulling together to put on lots of X-Wing content next weekend for our own X-Wing extravaganza. We will actually be joining in that as well, and we'll be live streaming some TTS action 10 p.m. till midnight on Friday. I can't even remember the date of that. Friday the 15th. We will be doing some live streaming of TTS over here on YouTube. So if you are awake at that time and want to come and join us in the chat, we would absolutely love to see you. The community is putting on lots of X-Wing content just to make sure that people haven't forgotten about us, really, because AMG haven't put anything on, so we decided let's give it a go ourselves. And that's all done through the community. We've got loads of different people doing that. Sith Takers, Firecast, Rogue Outposts doing stuff. So yeah, really good weekend of X-Wing content coming up this weekend. Oh, there's a concussion bomb up in the top there as well.
Oh, there is, yes. Okay. I think this is a good idea from Wes, just sending the 1 health Garvin off to go capture that objective before he takes that one last little bit of damage. Which I do like that you can do with the objectives on the board. Just go, okay, I can bail out and still contribute.
Yeah.
Rather than just hiding for as long as you can. This is going to be a very interesting turn with some tight maneuvers. Okay, Emon makes that, which is not good for the Garvin who was trying to stay out of the fight.
Not good at all, so that is quite a nice... I'm actually quite happy with that manoeuvre there. It doesn't trigger Fearless, which is a bit of a shame.
I don't think you need Fearless in this shot. If anything, you might be worried about taking a big hit from the Ghost.
I mean, there is a potential there. So Lando has no choice but to land on that bomblet generator. There's literally nothing he can do about that.
Yeah, there's no room to boost away from it either.
Jan just getting herself out of dodge now.
Clears the stress.
See another Lando crew trigger.
I mean, it's definitely the case of if you're putting Lando on a ship, you want to make sure it's the only action you're ever really going to want to do.
Yeah, although, I mean, I'm looking at it and thinking, could rotate the arc, but I don't know if you need to, so, I mean, focus evade.
The side arc on the Hawk is a At 2, it's fine. You're mostly there for Jan's ability and the Moldy Crow main gun at the front. And in this case, bombs.
Yeah, Contraband Cybernetics have been triggered on hard.
Oh, nice.
Hey, turn. Don't like that concussion.
No,
So
that doesn't matter. You can boost. Oh,
quick reset. Drop the as you said, large bases. They're a pain in the butt. Always have been. As we found out, Lego might fix. So getting away from the concussion, still probably going to suffer the bomblet. Maybe looking now at what they do, maybe
okay, concussion didn't, but it was a good drop anyway. It forced the boost.
Yeah.
And does that one also hit hard? I think that is hitting both Falcons.
It is hitting both, and I'm now looking back at what they do and thinking maybe taking the concussion would have been better because I would have taken a strain. And
Right, damage. Yeah, but also considering your gun was sideways, although you saw an action, so you could have just rotated it.
Yeah, I could have, instead of boosting, I could have rotated it
Yeah,
forward.
I guess leaving Han where he was probably would have been better in hindsight, but you see a bomb, you go, I can avoid that one. Oh, I've hit another one.
So damage on both Han and Lando there.
So Han has taken a lot of hits very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, that big shot from Kallus was not helpful in that kill box, and taking that additional damage from Bossk as well, which was unavoidable really. But yeah. Just replacing where that title up was, it should be on Han there from the Magva earlier trigger. But it is Han to shoot first. Going into the ghost, which is obstructed.
Yeah, I mean, if Han has an obstructed shot, that's the one to take.
Yeah, range 2 trick shot.
Did Wes use Evan?
Too far away for Evan to trigger.
Well, what range is his thing?
0 to 1.
Oh, okay, right next to him.
Yeah. So good if you're in the middle of a formation, which nowadays you don't tend to fly often in formations.
I mean, by turn 5, it's very tricky to still be in formation, unless you are flying like several of the same ship.
Yeah. I will take that. That's... Oh, he's got the focus.
He's got the focus.
I couldn't see it behind the ghost big butt. Unfortunate, but hey, at least the focus has now been spent. So that is...
But who else have you got that can shoot the ghost?
Lando has a range 3 shot that unfortunately doesn't look like it. Well, I think it looks like a range 3 shot that would be unobstructed, unfortunately.
I guess there's no focus for offense.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that still shows, the ability of the ghost with the extra green dive. Like, it's a 0 agility ship, it just dodged 2 damage.
Yeah. Hull breach with a crit. So hit crit onto...
Well, they're all crits, aren't they?
All crits at this point. Stunned pilot, damaged engine. Oh, he survived. I mean, Kallus could just take him out in a moment, but we will see.
Yeah, as much as you've got a good shot onto Emon, I think he'd try and just finish off Han for those 6 points. Which I think is what just happened?
No, that was...
Oh no, that was... No.
That was Emon shooting into Garvin and taking Garvin out. And Garvin had no shot anyway, so...
No simultaneous there. No, you can still shoot.
No, he had no arm.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
Which meant that he couldn't trigger. I think that...
I like Garvin's ability. I'm not sold on Suppressive Gunner. as an upgrade on him. I think it's a few more cheaper upgrades might work better.
Yeah, it's better when you've got it in combination with other things.
Especially when, like, Suppressive Gunner, you're spending your focus results, which then means potentially you can't trigger Garvin's ability. Like, they're both fighting to spend the focus result.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it used well on other ships. Admittedly, it was in 2.0 rather than 2.5, where you could be more free with what you put on. In fact,
I remember, I can't remember what ship had it, but it was back when we were doing the commentary wars, and I was flying a bunch of A-Wings, and something on the opposing side had Suppressive Gunner, and my A-Wings just could not do any damage because of it.
It was Quinn's YV666.
There you go.
Yeah, I was actually, that was what I was
thinking. I
thinking.
couldn't afford to take damage because I've only got 4 health, so I was like, okay, I'll take a deplete, and then I'm only attacking with 1 attack die. It was a nightmare.
And that, I believe, is Kallus into Han, spending the lock he got from Magva Yarro.
Yeah, just to make sure at this point.
Yeah. Han can't... Oh, he could. He's got 3.
Oh, well, okay, not those 3.
Not like that.
So you could have used L3 at that point.
I could have used L337 at that point, and I lie awake at night remembering that I made that mistake. Admittedly, I would have had to have done L337 before Wes re-rolled, because when you trigger L337, they have to stick with the result they get. They can't then re-roll, because you can't re-roll a re-roll.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Another lesson in remembering your upgrades.
Yeah.
We've all forgotten upgrades. And looked back and gone, oh wait, I've got a thing here. Oh.
I even took L337 because I'd had it used against me. Ben used it against my defenders in a tournament, and I had this, like, amazing roll. He went L337, and it was a terrible roll. I was like, well, I'll just target like I went, you can't re-roll a re-roll. And I was like, I hate you a little bit right now.
Yeah.
So it is brutal. And then when you flip it over, your banks become blue, if I remember rightly. It's quite nice like
yes.
that.
When you are not shielded, decrease the difficulty of your bank maneuvers.
Which gives you the 2 and 3 blue bank, which is quite nice on a Falcon.
I wonder how effective that difficulty change is on other ships.
So on a YV666, that would be quite nice, because it would give you more blues than you actually have reds, which is always fun. I think of other ships that it might be quite good on.
Is L3 Scum only?
L3 is Scum only, yeah.
Yes, I've got the options in there.
It'd be quite nice on the Razor Crest.
Yeah, the Razor Crest would like it.
T24 would like it actually as well. Be quite fun there. But I think the YT24 is standard loadouts only, so you couldn't really do that.
My first thought was the Gauntlet, but it's actually already got blue banks at 1 and 2 anyway. Anyway.
You can make the jump
upgrade.
Yeah. Fun upgrade if you remember it, guys.
But I mean, you've lost Han, you've lost Bossk, and you're still on 10 points to Wes's 13.
Those early captures of the objectives are what have helped me there.
It is starting to swing in Wes's favour because he now has 2 of them.
Yes. So it's going to be tricky to recapture those while still obviously trying to put damage out. And if we look at it, his ships are pretty darn healthy. I mean, only the Ghost...
Here's the thing about, like, the turns... With the objectives and everything, the turns are taking longer, and games are going to around turn sort of 6, 7, 8-ish.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's even worth sometimes trying to take out a Ghost, especially when it starts fighting at, what was it, round 3? Like, in terms of the timer of the game, are you actually going to do enough damage to that, or should you focus fire elsewhere?
Yeah, that is a quite a big question actually at this point.
And again, that all comes down to the game you're playing at the moment. Like, if it was chance engagement, potentially get some half points. Is the ghost a real big threat? Maybe.
Looking at that damage output that it has done really well. Admittedly, a lot of that is also because of Jan.
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean, Kallus starts with 4 shields. You've done 4 damage. I mean, you're pretty close to killing Jan at that point. And if you can take Jan off the board...
Yeah, I've had some unfortunate shots against the ghost.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
But I would say that it's one of the objectives versus actual kills, and we've reintroduced that 75-minute timer on our Wednesday night plays just because we were finding we weren't really getting enough time to actually have 2 full games. So we might not get to 20 points in our game, but at least we can get to what an old school system where we finish the game, we normally know who's won, and then we could carry on with another game. Because there's nothing worse than if you end up at round 10 and you're just like, oh, this is just dragging now, and it's taking you 2.5 hours.
So we know who's going to win at this point. It's just we're just trying to finish it.
I mean, Wes has taken the lead now, 13-10. It's going to be very tricky for me to bring that back. I mean, the end of this round is going to be at least 11-15 in Wes's favour, unless I get the most ridiculous combination of crits on the ghost. A crit onto Lando.
Side gun from Jan, okay.
And that crit is done behind us.
Okay, that's alright.
Not terrible.
At least it wasn't reduced damage or
weapons failure.
Yeah, that's not weapons failure.
Actual damage, yeah. Weapons failure on this Falcon is terrible.
Yeah. Now, is this obstructed? Looks like it is.
Dorsal Turret obstructed. That's a big lot of nothing. I'm okay with that. The dice have been...
No, wasn't that
moderate
you choosing? Wasn't it?
No, that was...
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah, we've kind of got the order all wrong here.
Yeah, you have initiative. You should be shooting first.
Yeah. So 2 from Emon, so not going to be getting that awesome shot I was hoping for, and getting 4 crits and triggering all the directs.
Yeah.
I think the ideal would be hull breach first, into a fuel leak, into
a ghost with a hull
direct.
breach is a dead ghost.
Yeah.
Really. Although this one has the agility, so maybe not.
True. And not quite got range there with Ivan onto Lando, so going to have to go into Emon.
So just a range 3 out the front. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Use Jan to buff the attack. Give it a go, I guess.
No, I think this...
Maybe that is the side gun.
It's the ghost. And it would be the ghost, and then again, doing the primary when you shouldn't, but fuel leak there on Lando anyway. That is into... There's some things.
Look at that.
There's the triple daddies.
That's what Han wanted a while ago.
Yeah. Several times. So yeah, 11-15. Still the potential to take that ghost out, but it's going to be tricky. Unfortunately, like I said, Jan and the Wyvern just haven't even been really shot at, not touched.
I like what you did with the Falcons. I think with how much Emon is about bombing, I think maybe get him into the fight a bit sooner.
Yes.
Because he's always just been facing the enemy. There's never been an enemy behind him.
I know, it has been tricky.
Oh,
There's a bomb. Just
There's
throwing it down for the sake of throwing it. Because I've got an upgrade, gotta use it. No, I mean, one thing, I like Emon, and I think he's a great pilot. It's a shame that Tobias Beckett crew got banned.
What did he do?
He was the one that allowed you to set up on an obstacle at range
that
3.
one. Yeah, I mean, that with objectives, that is silly.
Yeah, because you just set, I could have just set him up on that middle objective, pointed his butt right at the ghost and gone, here you go, have a proton bomb round 1.
Although with the change that they introduced after that initial round of objectives, where you can't interact with objectives until turn 2, maybe it's not as bad. It's still not great. It's still very strong, but maybe not quite as game breaking as it used to be.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look and see if that's a banned card or
It's
just
banned, because I think Han for the Resistance as a pilot is a very similar ability, and I'm pretty sure he is banned as well.
When you stick it onto extended, you can actually add him. So
I'm going
to go and have a look at the actual.
Been a while since I looked at the banned list.
Oh, that's not a great place to be if you have stunned pilots.
Oh, you've clicked the rock, and you're next to a bomb. It's all gone wrong for Lando.
Oh, and he's killed himself anyway. I think we all know where that's gone. Oh, that was disappointing. I did so well missing the obstacles all game.
Until that one, yeah.
I just went and messed it up. But, admittedly, I've not bumped into any of Wes's ships this entire game. I've stuck some ridiculous moves there. Not that it makes any real difference.
You need a really big shot.
Yes. Like a massive shot. Like 4 direct hits, good. Or like I said, hull breaches and stuff. Maybe
and
just
somehow also destroy the other ships.
Yeah, somehow just out of nowhere get veteran tail gunner.
Kallus as a pilot alongside Evan, that's really good. I like that. And the general's just parrying up the gun as well. It's an interesting list that Wes has, because it all focuses around the ghost, really.
Yeah.
And the ghost has enough health and now defense to kind of survive the game.
I mean, that ghost is a big damage output ship, and it has done well. But there's Emon's first shield. He's going to miss it.
Although, looking back on it, there was the incorrect ruling on generals and the dorsal turret. But even that, I think they only came up like twice, which is potentially 2 damage across the board. The big hit was that front gun shot into Han.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, there's hit crit into Kallus, so stunned pilot, not going to quite do it, but Tobias Beckett is on the banned list.
Oh, okay.
That's a shame, because again, the Boba Fett Tobias Beckett crew combo of I'm going to move an obstacle, I'm going to sit on that obstacle, I'm going to shoot something at range 3 at speed 3 at you was brilliant. But there we go. At the end of that, that is all she wrote. Point scoring, 12 points for me, a very healthy 22 points to Wes. On paper, I think we were saying before that my list did look very strong, but those combos that Wes was able to pull out, despite the channels on Dorsal Turret, was still really effective.
Yeah.
I like Kallus as a ghost. You modify, I get an evade. If Anne gives me an evade, that's really solid.
And also,
really
Lando crew is cheaper, which lets you take the bombs, which did some damage as well.
So a really good list from Wes. I may have to borrow that at some point to give it a go.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There's nothing wrong with imitating your foe. So, but yeah, really well played there, Wes. Great win. Always a really good fun game. And you're welcome for the points for Lando. Gonna try that Lego. But James, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that game.
Yeah, that was a good one. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. And guys, like I said, this coming Friday, we will be live streaming 10 till 12 on TTS on YouTube. So come and check us out then and keep us company. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and we will see you next time.